And have elected to receive. Philadelphia Eagles will be kicking off, and this broadcast is also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. David Akers set to kick off for the Eagles. Glenn Milburn, along with Edgar Bennett, are back for the Bears. And Akers hits it to Milburn from the 5. And Glenn Milburn gets up to the 27-yard line, a 23-yard return for Glenn Milburn. And the Bears take the field on offense for the first time, and their rookie quarterback, #1 pick, Cade McNown. And he's played some series. In fact, 11 series so far this year, Ron. But it's a little different when you're the man.
Yeah, it's a lot different when you know you're the guy, because you have to study that whole load of the playbook. And with Shane Matthews definitely out, he's had to spend more time, a little bit more time in the meeting room, a little bit more time after practice.
McNown on first down throws it right away to Bobby Ingram, and Ingram takes it outside for 8 yards on first down. Take a look at this Chicago offense, ranked 15th in the NFL. As we told you, Cade McNown starting at quarterback, the top-rated rookie quarterback this season. In front of him, Brockermeyer, Perry, Kreutz, Valerio, and Big Cat James Williams. In the backfield, Curtis Enos, John Ulrich starts at fullback, Bobby Ingram, one of the receivers, Macy Brooks starting for the injured Curtis Conway today, and Alonzo Mays is the tight end. But the Bears use multiple formations and personnel group. We'll keep up with it as Curtis Enos takes his first carry of the game and loses a half of a yard. Jeremiah Trotter makes the tackle. The Eagles defense ranked 20th in the NFL, but 9th against the pass, are led up front by Mamula, Martin, Thomas, and Greg Jefferson. The linebackers, an active bunch, William Thomas, Jeremiah Trotter, and James Darling. The secondary playing outstanding are the corners, Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent. Tim Houck, the strong safety, Brian Dawkins, a playmaker at the free safety position. It is 3rd down and 3 now for the Bears. Bobby Ingram in motion. McNown working the backside, incomplete, intended for Marcus Robinson. Pass a little bit behind him.
The pass was a lot behind him, and he's lucky that it didn't get picked off. The first thing you notice, you look at the Bears on offense, not only do you have Cade McNown under getting his first start, but there's no Curtis Conway, and that's a weapon. That's a huge weapon. Leading receiver in the NFC that Cade McNown is not going to have on his side. He's got to stay within the offense. Let that offense work.
Todd Sauerbrun's first punt of the day, a high hanger as Alan Rossum lets it bounce near the 20, and he may have been interfered with as Frankie Smith was down on special teams. It's a 42-yard punt from Sauerbrunn. And Phil Luckett is our referee today, and he'll figure out what that flag is.
Rossum has to be given an opportunity to catch the ball. It's not a matter of yards.
Chicago, number 29, 15-yard penalty. First down.
15-yarder gives Philadelphia excellent field position in their initial possession.
Watch your Frankie Smith coming down. He's going to look like he tried to get out of the way. He's too close. That is not what they call giving the returner an opportunity to catch the ball. Once again, it's not a matter of yards or anything like that. It's just what in the official's interpretation is a fair chance, enough room to catch the football.
So on first down, Deuce Staley, his first carry is bottled up in the middle as Barry Minter steps in to make the first play for the Bears. And the Eagles offense has been not very good this year, ranked 30th in the NFL, led by quarterback Doug Pederson, his first year as a starter. Up front, Trey Thomas, Doug Brzezinski, Steve Everett, Jeff Dellenbach, and Lonnie Polalay. In the backfield, Staley and Martin, Torrance Small and Charles Johnson, the receivers, and the tight end, a rookie, Jed Weaver. 2nd down and 10. 2 tight ends in the game as the flag is down as Staley tries the left side to no avail. Jim Flanagan in on that tackle along with Sean Harris.
Looks like Luther Broughton, the tight end, kind of double clutched right before the snap.
That's it.
That whole
illegal motion on the Philadelphia Eagles.
That whole right side.
Dick Geron.
Illegal motion offense on the tight end. The penalty is declined, which makes it 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd down and 10 now as the Bears defense ranked 26th in the NFL. A good group up front. Rookie Russell Davis, Wells and Flanagan. We've already introduced them. And then Brian Robinson at the right end. Minter, Harris, and McDonald, the linebackers. Carter and Walt Harris at the corners. Hudson and Parrish, an active group at the safeties. 3rd down and 9. They'll hand it again to Deuce Staley. Staley is hit by Walt Harris, and he'll be short of the 1st down. In fact, they say the ball is out. And that's Terry Cousins who has the football, and he's going down the sidelines. He's in the end zone, and I don't see an official doing anything. Now they blow the whistles up near the 46-yard line.
Boy, that was a strange call. I don't know why the Eagles didn't try to push the ball down the field. And now they may not even have the ball. They take it away.
The runner was touched. 1st down.
So they say Terry Cousins was touched. So it's not a touchdown, but it is a fumble recovery for the Bears.
Well, first of all, there was some discussion of whether or not the ball had even come out. There's the ball right there. I don't know if his knee was down yet, but the ball's there. Nobody knows it. Terry Cousins knew it.
The Bears get the ball. We'll be back in a moment.
He wanted to get enough on the ball to make that throw.
Chris Bonio picked up this week to replace the injured Jeff Jagger. Try his first field goal as a Bear from 46 yards. And that is good. Chris Bonio, 46-yard field goal. And the Bears get on the board. They lead the Eagles 3-0, and the rookie quarterback is happy. They back. Here's the Bears' defensive stats through the first 5 games, and knocked those takeaways up to 16 as the fumble recovery led to the Bonio field goal. Those 19 sacks, tops in the NFL. As the Eagles take it on their 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Pederson with time going down the sidelines, batted up in the air, and it's picked off. This is Tony Parrish. There's a flag down on the play. Parrish all the way up to the 26-yard line. It was intended for Charles Johnson. Batted up in the air, intercepted by Parrish. There is roughing the passer on the Bears. It'll come back.
Penalties are killing the Chicago Bears today.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 99 defense, hitting the quarterback in the knee. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's part of the strike zone. You got to be within when you hit the quarterback. 99 Flanagan. Now he's working on Dellenbeck, 66. He gets away late, real late. And you know what? That's not right.
Down.
No, he was pushed into the quarterback by Palale. That is not a good call. See the interception by Parrish and the great return, setting up great field position by the Bears, but I think Flanagan was pushed in the back late.
4 penalties for 45 yards already against the Bears. Staley, no gain out to the left side. Let's now go to Los Angeles. James Brown's at the Fox Network Center.
Ray and Ron, an interception at your game. Take a look at this one here. Cunningham picked by Terry Fair, who jumped it quick out, intended for Chris Carter. Fair, 41 yards to pay dirt. Minnesota trailing Lions by 7. Back to Ray and Ron.
Well, things are tough for the Minnesota Vikings right now. 2-3. No one expected that. 2nd down and 10. Pederson trying to set up the screen. Covered well. Now he throws it downfield for Deuce Staley. There's a flag down, and another flag comes in. There's 3 of them out there.
That's a lot of popcorn kernels out in the field. Yeah. I'll tell you that. Because inside those flags are little popcorn kernels. And all we need is some butter right about now.
Yeah, it's not quite hot enough to get it popping, but
it will be.
All right, one of them is pass interference on the Eagles. See what the other flags are.
Mike Wells blew that screen up. He sniffed it out and got right in the middle of it, and that's what Pederson was waiting for, to get rid of Wells so he could throw the screen. He ends up trying to throw back across the field to Staley.
The Eagles are a big screen team. That's one of the best plays they have.
There were 2 fouls on the offense. Pass interference, number 87 and number 62. Penalty is 10 yards. Repeat. 2nd down. Penalty was on number 63. 66.
All right. He's going to change it to Jeff Dellenbach. 66.
This is the play where Mike Flanagan was called for the late hit on the quarterback. Oh no, he's pushed in the back by Lonnie Pellet. I just don't see where he intentionally went after the quarterback.
Second and forever, Torrance Small makes the catch. The Bears rally to stop him at the 41-yard line, a gain of 7.
This is the third down a series ago where I thought the Eagles really got conservative. They went with the run to Deuce Staley. Granted, Deuce Staley has been productive for him, but you're at the approaching the midfield area. I think you got to push the ball downfield.
That was the first completion for Doug Pederson. Let's take a look at Andy Reid. Brought the West Coast offense in from Green Bay. Trying to get it going here in Philadelphia. Third down and long. Pederson with a pump fake. He's going deep to Dietrich Gels. Gels has it. 10-5 touchdown. Philadelphia, no flags on this one, a 57-yard hookup.
And that's what I'm talking about. Don't be conservative. Push that ball up the field. That's the call that should have been made a series ago. Working over there on Walt Harris. There's Walt Harris. Walt Harris is playing off, and he's going to squat. See, he stops his feet and looks inside. The one thing you never do as a corner. Stopped his feet and looked at the quarterback, and Gels keeps running. The rookie burns it.
Gels, a speed burner. And Norm Johnson, Mr. Automatic, adds the extra point. And the Philadelphia Eagles strike back and take a 7-3 lead over the Chicago Bears. Dietrich Gels holds it in. Philadelphia Eagles lighting it up here in the first quarter. 42 points, third in the NFL. They scored 7 in the first quarter today, and at the start of the second, they're knocking on the door. Second and goal from the 9.
They're doing everything Andy Reid said, like I mentioned earlier, run the football. He also mentioned being consistent. They're being consistent. They're keeping their offense on the field, keeping their defense off the field, keeping the Bears' defense on the field.
Deuce Staley in the backfield. Pederson with 3 wide receivers. Rolls to his right. Looks to throw back. It's not there. Now he goes into the end zone. Overthrows everybody. Incomplete. Looking for Charles Johnson. I think he just threw it away.
And the Bears brought everybody up on the line of scrimmage, just trying to give an offensive line that has been struggling, that's young, and make them pick and decide who's going to blitz. That's the dilemma in blitz pickup. See, look at all the black shirts here. You got 5 guys, 6 guys that have to decide which 7 are going to come. And that's the problem. Good coverage there by Tony Pederson, the tight end.
That incompletion, the first of the day for Pederson. Third and goal. With time. Throws it outside. Charles Johnson's first grab of the day, and he fumbles the ball. There's a pile for it.
Pederson's pass complete to Charles.
The signal is the Eagles retain possession. Will, however, be 4th down. They'll have to kick a field goal.
The Bears go to a strict zone defense, putting the pressure on Pederson. Make him check down. Make him make that throw that he doesn't want to throw.
Charles Johnson recovered his own fumble. They'll bring on Norm Johnson to attempt the field goal. Johnson 6 of 9 on the season. This one will be from 28 yards. And the field goal is good, and the Eagles extend their lead. They are up 10-3 over the Bears. Degrees outside, in case you're wondering how cold it is the scoring drive for the Eagles, their longest drive of the year in terms of time of possession. The 5 minutes and 13 seconds. They get a field goal out of it. They lead now 10-3 over the Chicago Bears. David Akers set to kick off. Glenn Milburn and Edgar Bennett stacked inside the 5. will be Milburn from the 10. Spins his way up to the 34-yard line. 24-yard return for Glenn Milburn. Cade McNown brings out his offense minus Curtis Conway. Conway with an ankle injury. Tried to practice Friday. It didn't work out. Declared inactive just before the game today, and they may be missing him a little bit.
Well, that's definitely a security blanket for you. You know you have a guy that can get open, that can make some catches for you, can do some things. Now that McNown doesn't have that, not only does he have to really rely on the system to help him do things, but he's got to find another guy, and Ingram looked to be that guy.
First and 10, the Bears from the 35. Curtis Enos in the backfield with McNown out of the shotgun. And Enos will run a trap up the middle. Pick up maybe 3 yards. Brought down by Steve Martin.
Tackled by Martin. A 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 at the Bears 38.
Dick Duran said Cade doesn't have to make 1,000 plays. But your quarterback, I don't care if it's his first start, if it's his 100th start, there's going to be 4 or 5 plays a game that's got to be all him, and he's got to make it.
Throws it out wide, and it's caught and down immediately. That's Edgar Bennett. Tim Houghton, the safety, on the coverage.
The Eagles said they're not going to come after Cade right away. They're going to wait and see how he's doing. What are they trying to do and what the game plan is. A little green dog action there by Willie Thomas. He's going to wait and come late on the delayed blitz. That's their plan. And as we work into the second quarter, second half, I think they're going to start to do more stuff to him. But right now what they're doing is giving him enough problems.
3rd and 4. The Bears just 1 of 4 on 3rd down. This will be complete to Allred for a first down. Excuse me, that's Ryan Wetnight.
There's an example right there of what they're going to do. The Eagles only rushed 3 guys. They said, let's go zone. They're going to drop these guys out and put maximum pressure on Cade McNown to find the open guy. And that's what you want to do to a rookie quarterback. Don't give him a free runner like it happened in man. Make him choose. Make him make the throw. Make him find a guy. Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, playing it close to the vest right now with the young kid. Cade checking off.
Cade checks into the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. McNown has it. It's batted at the line of scrimmage.
If you look at McNown closely, he stares a hole at where he's throwing the football. Gary Croton, the offensive coordinator for the Bears, said that's the one problem we're having. He gets stuck. You know, if your progression read is to look from left to right, there's Croton right there, is to look at the widest receiver on the left and then work all the way into the other side of the field. And he stays on that left side and he waits for his guy to get open instead of saying, forget it, he's not going to get open, go to my next guy.
Mark Wheeler batted that last pass down, brings up a 2nd down and 10 for the Bears. McNown takes off and runs, and he's got a lot of room, slides up to the 45-yard line and gets jumped on by Jeremiah Trotter, and there's laundry all over the place.
I like what Macy Brooks, the wide receiver, did at the bottom.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness defense, number 54, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Trotter trying to chop some more wood.
A little ad-lib here, something you can do with McNown. Watch down at the bottom here. And then throwing that little quick hitch. Brooks looks like he's going to get the hitch, and then McNown just takes off and runs with it. I don't know if he's supposed to fake to the other side, but remember, that is his left side. This is where he works best, running out to that side.
Well, once the quarterback goes into that slide, he's hands off. Trotter, a second-year man out of Stephen F. Austin, decided just to jump on the pile, create a pile. First and 10 from the 29. Bears on the move. Now the quick to Ingram. Ingram up to the 24-yard line. A gain of 5. Troy Vincent.
This is called
James Darling with the defense.
This is called take what they give you. And if your quarterback is getting his first start and you want to get him into the game, this is a perfect way to do it. If the Eagle cornerbacks are going to play off, that time Vincent even about 5 yards, the quick hitch. You line it up, you get 4 yards, 5 yards, and you're looking at a good second down situation, and you don't get your quarterback in trouble trying to throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, at some point, though, he's going to have to throw it downfield.
That's what I mean by having to make those 4 or 5 plays a game.
Enos strung outside. No gain on the play. Bobby Taylor finishes it off.
A loss of 1.
Bears thought that the Eagle cornerbacks were good cover people, but they wanted to make them tackle. See, Bobby ducks that head a little bit too low. That's a good way to get hurt. On the other side, Troy Vincent is second in the team in tackles.
8th play of the drive for the Bears. 3rd down and 6 now.
Real red area. This is where you want to pressure.
Now throws it out. Caught by his tight end. John Allred with his first grab. He's a couple yards shy of the first down, and they'll have to kick, at least attempt another field goal.
I think the Bears have pulled the reins on Cade McNabb. After that one throw that was nearly intercepted in the end zone, you can see everything is going short, across the middle, quick hitch routes. They're not letting them push the ball up the field. They know they've got a chance at points down here in the red zone, and that's what they want to get.
Chris Bolnio comes on to attempt his second field goal of the day. He hit from 46, this one from 40. Bolnio. 2 for 2 now. Answering the Bears' kicking problems. Gets Chicago back on the board. And it is now the Eagles 10, the Bears 6, as Chris Bolnio has scored all their points.
Todd Sauerbrunn goes down and makes a hit,
well,
or
he missed,
an attempted hit. But the drama of it all forces him, oh, he got kicked right there. That's what happened. But you just got to laugh because the one bit of contact he has, he's on the bench.
Yeah, kickers aren't made for the mix-it-up part of this game. That's why they're kickers. 1st and 10. Go the Eagles.
We're not kicker hating.
No, wouldn't do that. Pederson going downfield again. Looking for Small, overthrown. Coverage by Walt Harris. Philadelphia Eagles started out their first 3 drives of this ball game. It's all or nothing. But, I mean, just to get 2 scoring drives. And coming into this game, they had 1 touchdown drive in their previous 58 attempts with the football. This ain't bad.
Yeah, they haven't started off games well, and they're just trying to pick up where they left off against Dallas. But I think getting the ball downfield is key.
2nd and 10, Pederson tries to get it downfield. Torrance Small with the catch and a first down.
Look at this offense, and there's really only 2 people that understand Andy Reid's West Coast scheme. And this is the same scheme, the exact same scheme that Mike Holmgren ran in Green Bay that took him to the Super Bowl. Pederson is one guy, the quarterback, and the other guy is Andy Reid. Nobody else really understands it. There's variations of it, and whoever's left over from Ray Rhodes, they didn't run the same kind of scheme.
Pederson said it was nice. He actually knew more than the coaches coming in, and that's what Andy Reid has said. He's like a coach on the field with this offense. There's Deuce Staley. Looks for room and finds it up near midfield, across midfield. A gain of 10 on the play. Barry Minter finally tackles the fired-up Deuce.
On that left side, a lot of youth. Trey Thomas, Doug Brzezinski right over here, and they got the tight end on this side. That's key. That's one extra guy, and he does a great job. That's Jed Weaver doing a great job on Ricardo McDonald. You
got a rookie fullback, Cecil Martin, leading the way as well. So you got a rookie tight end, a rookie guard, and a rookie fullback paving the way. That is some youth. 2nd down. In less than 1, Pederson goes to the air to Gels. Gels with a touchdown catch earlier gets a first down, a gain of 12, working on Tom Carter.
That's how this offense is supposed to work, the West Coast offense. You see, they had the run game, and then they come back with the pass. But there was a pass before that big run by Deuce Staley. They want to run just enough to set more things up for their passing game. And it works the other way around. As the pass goes, they can run it better.
This is Torrance Small in the backfield, takes the toss and throws it downfield. Oh, almost picked off. Chris Hudson, the free safety, was back there. But right now, let's go back to the Fox Network Center for a game break. Here's JB.
Ray and Ron, pick your poison when you're playing the Rams. This time, Tony Horn from a foot, make that a yard into the end zone. Avoids a traffic jam. Back-to-back games, the kickoff return for a score for Tony Horn. This one, 101 yards. It's now 21-7. St. Louis over the Falcons. Back to Ray Bentley. Ron Pitts.
That guy did it again. I tell you one thing, the Rams are for real. I thought that would be a letdown game for them coming after San Francisco. But they're playing. They've got it going on.
Staley on the draw. Keeps struggling and gets 6 yards, man, 2 and 8. One of the tacklers.
You talked about the youth on this Eagle team. The left side, Trey Thomas is basically a rookie. This is his second year, and he had a pretty good year. Excuse me, Trey Thomas, he's basically a rookie.
The Eagles.
And Brodzinski, he's a rookie. Everett's the vet. On the other side,
there's a lot of youth in that offense. And you know, they talked about last week, that fourth quarter, they finally got some confidence going, and they've carried it over into this game. 3rd and 5. Pederson, 3-step drop, throws the slant to Small, first down. He beat Tom Carter.
Complete to Torrance Small, wrestled down by Tom.
This ball has to be thrown off the quick 3-step drop. In order for that to happen, it's got to be protected. The Bears come with a stunt. Minter tries to get inside, get his hands 24. Up. Tom Carter giving up too much ground. That is the exact route you're going to get when you feather off the slant. You can't stop it giving ground. The only way you can stop it is to attack the inside shoulder and stand tall.
8th play of this drive for the Eagles. Pederson on play action. Hits it up the middle to Charles Johnson. Johnson inside the 10. Barry Minter, the linebacker, makes the tackle, but not until they pick up 17 more yards through the air.
That's a matchup problem there. Charles Johnson, receiver, working inside on the linebacker.
Pederson has been on target today, too.
He's on target, and there's no way that Minter is going to be able to cover Charles Johnson. Linebacker on wide receiver, that does not work.
Pederson has thrown for 156 yards here in the first half. That's a career high. 1st and goal from the 8. Pederson throws it inside to Johnson. Johnson brought down by Sean Harris at the 4.
You can see Jim Flanagan, 99 for the Bears. He's frustrated. He turned to Pederson and said, I can't get you. Stop throwing the ball so quick. And that's what this offense is about. 1, 2, 3, and the ball's out. And you notice the way they're spreading it up, spreading it around, moving around to the outside. Pederson moving one way, coming back with the bootleg, the play action off the run, and throwing back the opposite side.
10th play of the drive, 2nd and goal. Pederson, play action. Looking into the end zone, touchdown. Luther Broughton. Broughton's 2nd touchdown of the year. And the Eagles moving it all over the Chicago Bears.
The guy they were worried about, Luther Broughton, the tight end, being able to match up.
Doug Pederson having a career half here, 13 of 15 for 164 yards and the 2 touchdowns now as Norm Johnson comes on to try and make it 17-6 Philadelphia. And he does. And the Philadelphia Eagles. There's a flag down on that extra point as Pederson, you see the replay of the touchdown. Nice throw. He threw it back against the grain. That's a tough throw to make.
He rolling to his right, throwing across his body. It's a very tough throw.
Bill Luckett looking for a little help down there.
He's been there before.
Oh boy, I'm not going there.
No, I'm not going to give Phil a hard time.
Offside, defense number 99. The extra point is good. 5-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff.
Jim Flanagan offsides. It doesn't matter. The point is good, and the Eagles extend their lead to 17-6 as Luther Broughton gets the touchdown catch.
And maybe McNabb might get out and try to run with it, but that's not what's hurting. Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator there on the sideline.
2nd and 18. McNown with 4 wide receivers in. Throwing out, and it's picked off. Troy Vincent, clear path to the end zone. He's got to beat the big cat, and he doesn't. Looking for Macy Brooks. Troy Vincent picks it off, brings it back 34 yards. That's 3 games in a row now. Vincent has an interception. That's his 3rd on the season. And the Eagles 12th as a team.
And I think Macy Brooks slipped on the play. Trying to throw the deep out. And that's a deep out to the wide side of the field. Brooks is going to come down and do a little out here. But this is a long throw for McNown. He's throwing this from the other hash.
There's a slip.
I mean, the slip is one thing, but even if Brooks doesn't slip, I think that ball is broken up at best for the Bears. And we talked about the troubles that McNown has been having throwing outside.
So the Eagles take over at the 5-yard line of Chicago, leading 17-6.
And McNabb's in the game.
Donovan McNabb on the option. Deuce Staley takes the pitch. Looked like he wanted to pitch it back. And Barry Minter finally makes the tackle as Donovan McNabb, who is well known here in Chicago, went to Mount Carmel High School. They told us, Andy Reid said, hey, we've got some wrinkles for McNabb. We're going to get him in there.
He just looked at us and gave us that little smile. We've got some things. I almost got my mix screwed up. My McNown or McNabb. Well, see, when McNabb is in the game, you know you have the potential to run with him. And what do? They run the options. What kind of block was that, Donovan? I mean, your mom and dad are here at the game, and then you throw a little kick block.
Turned into a Mick disaster. As Pederson's back in now, things return to normal, and that's batted down by Flanagan. Well, they didn't sign Donovan McNabb to be a blocker.
Coming out, McNabb was supposed to be the best athlete of everyone in the draft as far as the quarterbacks. You got to be able to do a lot of things. Oh. That's part of that Ty Boat class.
Yeah, needs to work on that. 3rd and goal now, just inside the 10. Bears bring the heat. Pederson throwing to the corner of the end zone, looking for Charles Johnson, incomplete. Walt Harris.
Nice coverage by Walt Harris. The Bears do bring the heat. Cousins, the inside corner came.
It's actually Tony Parrish with the coverage, working on Johnson. So Norm Johnson will come on to attempt his 2nd field goal of the day. He was good previously from 28. This one, 27-yarder. And this is good. The Eagles bring up their 20th point. They lead the Bears now 20-6 after the turnover. The interception by Vincent put him inside the 10-yard line.
Every coach will tell you his biggest fear is how do we handle success.
Okay. Doug Pederson has been outstanding so far today. The first touchdown pass to Dietrich Gels, 57 yards. Got home with that, and now the touchdown pass to Broughton. Career day in just the first half for Doug Pederson. And they said, you know, the lights were coming on a little bit. They were taking baby steps, so they've taken some long strides with this offense today.
That's my point about success. Anybody can have that one big win. And there is no bigger win for the Eagles right now than to beat a team like the Cowboys at home like they did last week. But then you have to go away on the road against a team that's upstart, that's coming just like they seem to be right now, and beat them and play well.
Andy Reid's got to be happy with his first half performance as David Akers has it teed up. Milburn and Bennett back to receive. Short kick. Milburn from the 13. Milburn breaks a tackle, gets up past the 40 to the 43-yard line as Eric Bieniemy makes the tackle after a 31-yard return. Sunday, November 7th, the wait is over. The fall's biggest event is coming. Don't miss the most anticipated premiere of the new season. The X-Files, Sunday, November 7th on Fox. The Bears need to do something right now to get themselves back into this football game. 2 minutes, 28 seconds to go here in the first half. Cade McNown under center. Hands it to Enos. Enos up to midfield. Brought down by Darling after a gain of 8. Bears with all their timeouts remaining. Try to get another snap off before the 2-minute warning. Second and short. Enos powers his way for the first down. Brought down by Mike Mamula. But that is our 2-minute warning. The Philadelphia Eagles 20, the Chicago Bears 6.
Back here in a long time, and the wind can be a problem. He wanted him to get a feel for it to get used to.
Labonio already 2 for 2 on the day. Will attempt this from 33 yards. Sauerbrunn with the hold.
Yikes. No.
That is no good. Wide right. As time runs out in the first half, Bonio misses the field goal. And it's been all Eagles thus far. 20-6 they had the lead. Bonio just doesn't get the leg through it enough. I mean, this is as close as it gets, though. Just a bit outside. Could have been short, too. He didn't get a lot of leg into that.
And he did for some reason, and we saw him make a longer one earlier. I don't know. He might have thought about that one too much.
All right, we will be back in a moment as it is halftime here at Soldier Field. Philadelphia Eagles over the Bears 20-6. Eagles passing yardage. Doug Pederson has been outstanding, having a career day.
What Doug Pederson and the Eagles offense has to do right now is not come out and get conservative. They've got to stay and do what they've been doing, pick their points and take their shots downfield. That's been the difference.
And the return comes out to the 34-yard line by Allen Rossum, and Dan Jiggets had a chance to talk to Andy Reid at halftime.
Dick, I know you're very disappointed in the first half. What happened, and how can you get things squared away in the second half?
Well, we just didn't execute. You know, we've said it all year. The team that executes usually wins the game. And so far, we haven't executed very well, I don't think, on either side of the ball. You got to give credit to them. They've played a good game. They've executed their offense. Now, we got to come out. We got to take advantage of any field position we get. We got to put points up on the board. You know, it's still just a 2-score game, so we'll get back into the thing.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Staley breaks this one out all the way to the Bears' 40-yard line. I apologize. That was actually Dick Duran that Dan Jiggets talked to. And you heard what Coach Duran had to say, and whatever it was, it didn't work on his first play as Deuce Staley takes it for 26 yards, the longest run of the day.
It won't be a 2-score game for long at that pace. Deuce Staley, once again, getting it turned up. This is an important drive anytime you come out in the third quarter of a game, because it's the time for you to reestablish what's going on in the first half, or break the mold of what's going on. In that case, the Eagles want to reestablish, hey, we're dominating, we're going to continue to dominate.
That run was the longest of the season by Deuce Staley. 26 yards. He follows it up with a 2-yarder. Tony Parrish in on the stop along with Rico McDonald.
The Eagles offense putting up some great numbers today. You can look at the average so far in the season and then look at what they have just today. The passing yards, that speaks for itself. I think the big change was that they decided on that second series of the game to put the ball down the field, go vertical.
Pederson, incomplete, looking for Torrance Small, flags out as Tom Carter put the coverage on Small.
Pass interference, defense number 25. That's an automatic first down.
As I said earlier, anytime you look at the ball, you can have that incidental contact, but you can't play through the receiver. Watch Carter here. He's going to play all the way through small right there, and that impedes his ability to catch the ball, and that's why it's a penalty.
Ball is spotted at the 33-yard line of Chicago. Philadelphia comes out in this second half. In their first drive, they're moving the football. Pederson changes the play. To a pass. Throws it out and misses Charles Johnson. High and wide.
You know why Pederson is checking? The Bears are showing a lot of 8-man front. They've been beat, they've been stung by the pass. It's a big play over Walt Harris, but the run is what's killing them. So you see it right here. 8 guys in the box, the tackle box. That's why Doug Pederson is checking to the pass, because he knows if 8 are in the box, I've got man-to-man coverage everywhere else, especially on the field.
Second and 10, Pederson sends 4 receivers down the field, tries to hit Staley on the middle screen, incomplete.
It's an interesting story with Doug Pederson. Here's a guy that has been a backup basically all his life in the NFL.
He's backed up some good ones, though, Favre and Marino. I mean,
that's what you say. If you're going to back up some good ones.
That's right.
Well, and there's advantages to that. You back up the Favres and the Marinos, and especially in the kind of offense that you're trying to run now, you know how it should be done. You know what should be run, how it should be run right. Doug's problem is that he's got a lot of inexperience around him.
They try to slant against a small, broken up by Tom Carter. No flag on this one.
I think they've gone to the well too many times on that slant. And if I'm Tom Carter, I got to start thinking about a slant and go, because it's going to be coming. This is done by positioning. Carter, he can only take this away by staying hard inside. You see, he lined up about a yard inside, so when the play developed, he was able to take away the inside and make it a hard throw.
Rather than try the 51-yard field goal with Norm Johnson, Sean Landetta comes out with his first punt of the day. Hangs a high one inside the 10, empty at the 15, caught by Glenn Milburn.
I don't know.
An 18-yard punt, and the Bears will get their first chance on offense here in the second half. They trail 20-6. Trying to get something going on offense with rookie quarterback Cade McNown. 9 of 18 on the day is McNown, and he'll hand this one off to Curtis Enos. Enos finds a little bit of a crack. He'll pick up 4 yards. Brought down by Tim Houck, but the first half was a struggle for Cade McNown.
Well, it started off, we talked about the outside throws. Here he's going to try to throw that long out, which is a hard throw anyways from the other hash, and it gets picked off. This is just a bad decision. You're in field goal range or close to it. Don't throw the Oscar. And he's had a lot of problems with just making some decisions, and that's something that's going to happen to a young quarterback. There, he didn't call the timeout.
Bootleg going downfield. He's got a man open, and this is caught. And Marcus Robinson is going to score a touchdown for the Bears. 80 yards. Rob Pitts, you said throw it deep, and they did.
Well, they hadn't given him a shot all game long. And I know they were a little bit timid at some of the things that had happened. That's what we said at halftime. He'd only thrown 14 yards. That was his deepest ball.
Well, he threw 180 there. 80 yards out the gate. Cade McNown, his first touchdown pass in the NFL. Chris Bonial come on and add the emphasis. Bonial is good and is now 20 for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Bears 13 as Cade McNown unleashes that long gun to Marcus Robinson.
Is what really matters. Come on, Jets.
He's looking swollen.
Oh, yes! Gary Bradshaw!
Howdy, partner.
Yes! Go Cowboys! Yes! Yes, go Jets!
Ehsan Najafi.
Loyalty.
See the score by quarters. Philadelphia ran out to a 20-6 halftime lead. Chicago got back into it with a long 80-yard pass. McNabb to Robinson. It is now 20-13. First, second, and 9 go the Bears. Curtis Enos following his blockers. He'll pick up 3 yards. And right now, let's go to the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles. Here's JB.
Ray and Ron, normally with the wide receiver, you say nice hands. Take a look at Jake Reed on the end of this Jeff George catch. Nice legs. Caught it between his knees, went down. That set up a touchdown run by Leroy Horde and Minnesota on top. 20-19 in the fourth. Hey, Ray, Lee Ron's telestrator alone, buddy.
See?
All right, nobody wants me to play with this telestrator here, but
see, that's why, right there. If you're going to circle like that.
I know.
We'll work on it.
It's a weakness. I'll get better. Third down and 4.
Remember, the first step in recovery is admitting you have a problem.
Right. McNabb hits Ingram. Wide open in Eagles territory inside the 40. James Darling runs him down, but not until they pick up 18 yards and move the chains again.
The slot receiver has been good for McNabb. And that's Ingram. And that's what Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator, was worried about. Ingram moving around, having a knack for getting open inside your zone. That is McNabb's guy today. Whether he likes it or whether he will admit it or not, that's his go-to guy.
McNabb on the bootleg.
There's a tight end. Why didn't he throw it?
Decides to tuck it under, and he'll gain 1 yard.
I don't get that one there. He had John Allred wide open. And I know from here, high up, things look different than from down there. Bootleg, the action this way, and it's going to free up this guy, tight end number 84, Allred, right in the corner of the field. Throw it. And you see Thomas, he was kind of floating in that in-between area, but when he first came out, he had it.
Brings up 2nd and 7. Enos on the counter. Picks his way. Keeps the feet going up to the 31-yard line before James Darling knocks him down again, but a good, tough inside run from Curtis Enos.
Curtis said, this is going to be one of those games where I'll step up, they'll step up, we'll go helmet to helmet.
Checking the oil.
Yeah, check the oil, and whoever gets their oil change after the game, well, that'll be the winner or the loser. I think
ran over Tim Houck.
Tim Houck got his oil changed on that.
Definitely had it checked anyway. Third down and 3 now. Curtis Enos, 18 carries, 69 yards. The Bears, 4 of 10 on third. Allred in motion. Bootleg going the other way this time.
What a play.
McNabb gets run down by Greg Jefferson. Jefferson showing you a little bit of a burst.
That is a huge play by Jefferson. We talked about this defensive front 4. Jefferson right there. Now, he's playing in the defensive end position. And he's a little flexed. You see how he's backed off the ball a bit? And look at the big man go.
Jefferson, a 5-year man out of Central Florida. Showing you some speed and some reach. Alan Rossum is back to receive the Sauerbrunn punt. High angling.
The sun got it.
Yes, the sun got Rossum's eyes, so it'll be down at the 13-yard line, a 24-yard punt. As Greg Jefferson comes up with the big play, and the Eagles will go back on offense.
Than it is anything else.
Chris Bonial comes on, attempt a 41-yard field goal, 2 out of 3 on the day. Missed the one just before halftime.
They've had their scare with throwing the football down here before. They're not going to take another chance. They need points at this moment.
The hold and a kick. Is it long enough? Yes, it is. Barely. And Bonial puts it in, and the Bears close to within 4 points. Eagles 20, Bears 16. And Dick Duran giving a round of applause with 7:40 left here in the contest. 7, we'd like to welcome those of you who've been watching the St. Louis-Atlanta game Bears have no timeouts left. They need to stop here, but Deuce Staley is going to end this one with a big run, and he stays inbound. The Bears have no timeouts left. That's it.
And that's exactly what I mentioned earlier in the game about the Eagles running so much up the middle and getting pounded inside. We talked about the 2 tackles at the top of the game. The outside has been the best for him. Off tackle has been where Deuce Staley has chewed up the Chicago Bears, and they went to it right there when they needed to have it.
Deuce
Bears
Staley
loaded up that inside so bad. I mean, they had everybody packed in there. Excuse me, Ray.
And I'd like to welcome all of those of you joining our broadcast. Deuce Staley just iced this for the Philadelphia Eagles. Went over 100 yards on the day. 23 carries for 101. And the Eagles will snap the streak. They've lost 8. Actually haven't won for 18 games on the road. And have never won here in Chicago. Looks like they're going to here today. 20-16. They have the lead. They jumped out early. It was all Doug Pederson in the first half, threw a couple of touchdown passes. The Bears clawed their way back into this game in the second half, only to see it end with that Deuce Staley run. 3rd and 7, picked up 15 to finish off the Bears.
And they did what they were supposed to do to a young quarterback coming in the game, McNabb. They laid back. They made him try to make some decisions. They took away his right side. Later on, the Bears got him out of the pocket in the second half, which I thought was key. Got him on the bootlegs, the rollout. But remember, McNabb saw a lot of things this game that he never has seen before. And even taking some snaps coming in series during the season thus far, trading off with Matthews, you still don't see the whole lot. He saw the whole gambit today, and he's going to be a better quarterback for it.
And that Philadelphia offense really came on strong, picking it up from where they left off last week against the Dallas Cowboys. They kept it going here today in Chicago. Dietrich Jells with that touchdown pass reception. Luther Broughton with that one, as Doug Pederson had a career day in the first half. He set a career record with pass yardage, and it was all Pederson. And then they hung on at the end, did the Eagles, to get the job done, and they did it with Deuce Staley on the ground to pull this one out. So the Chicago Bears fall now to 3-3. The Eagles have won 2 in a row. They raise their record to 2-4. So this is Ray Bentley for Ron Pitts and Dan Jiggett saying so long from Chicago, where the final score is Philadelphia 20, Chicago 16. Be sure to stay tuned to Fox Sports for the second game of our doubleheader. For those of you in Chicago, you will return to local programming. The rest of you will see Green Bay at Denver right after these messages. So long, everybody.